Hello, this is Patrick with OneCNC West, and what we're going to do in this training video is take a look at a different way that we can drill holes within OneCNC. Now, in our last example using Mill Project 1, we used drill single, and this is where we get this little dialog box. We select how we want to select our holes. Once we're done with that, we right-hand mouse click, hit finish, and then we go to work. But in this video, what I'd like to do is demonstrate this operation here called the hole wizard. I'm going to zoom out and pan down just a little bit to give us some more room. I'm going to go with drill hole wizard. I'll just left-hand mouse click. As soon as we do this, OneCNC automatically scans the graphic area, and it categorizes or groups the holes into separate groups based upon their diameter and depth. So you can see OneCNC has found two groups of holes, and as I left click on each one of these groups of holes, OneCNC verifies the selection by showing that selected in red over here within the graphics area. Now let's say that you and I would like to drill these 5 holes. To do that, all we need to do is just check that box right there. Notice also that you can expand this, and you can also deselect holes if you want. But in this example, we're going to drill all 5 holes, so I'm going to leave those alone. Once we do that, we'll click Next. Here's our clearances dialog box. I have a rapid Z-plane set to 10 millimeters. Our plunge clearance, this is where we're going to start to feed down, set to 3, and our material top set to minus 15 millimeters. Now the reason why it's set to minus 15 millimeters is each one of these pockets has already been machined to minus 15. Let's go with Next. Alright, so within the settings dialog box, you have the ability to select multiple machining operations for the holes. So for example, we could center drill, countersink, and then tap all those holes. So one of the advantages to using Hole Wizard is you can perform multiple machining operations to your holes. Now I'm going to keep this simple. I'm going to right-hand mouse click. We'll select Remove All. I'll click Yes to confirm that. And why don't we just drill these? So I'm going to just left-hand mouse click on that. Over here on the right-hand side in this blue area, this is actually a preview of the cross-sectional view of your holes. Now right now this is blank because we haven't filled anything in yet, but as we start to fill in parameters, this preview area, this cross-sectional preview area will start to come to life. Now to fill the parameters in for this drill operation, just simply take your cursor and double left-hand mouse click. Once we do that, we get this dialog box, and you've seen this before. This is where you want to select your tool. You can select it from the tool library by left-clicking on the graphic or tool changer, or you can manually define a tool. In this example, I'm just going to manually define it. We'll say it's in turret position number 3. We'll give it an RPM of 3000. I'll select my coolant, and for a feed rate, I'm going to put in 0.5 for that. There's 2 feed rates, X, Y, and Z. The reason why there's 2 is because you can do more than just drilling operations. You can in fact perform milling operations with an end mill, for example. So all this looks good. Let's change this now to a drill. We'll come down here and select drill. That looks good. Alright, for the length, this is how far the tool sticks out past the holder. I'm going to put in 40 millimeters for that. For the diameter, we'll put in 10. And then the included angle, I'm going to put 118. So you can see this is your included angle right there. All this looks great, so we'll click Next. Okay, so under hole style, you have machine cycle and automatic drilling. Machine cycle is if you'd want to use a can cycle like G81, G82, and G83. If you don't want a can cycle, you would select automatic drilling, which would output just simply rapids and feed moves, G0s and G1s. If you want to machine the holes using like an end mill or something, you can select profile, helix, or clean circle. But I'm going to go with the can cycle. For the hole depth, I'm going to put in minus 25 millimeters. That looks good. And because I have the machine cycle selected, when I click Next, OneCNC is going to give me a group or a list of can cycles I can select from. I'm going to go with the G83 deep hole, and for the peck amount, I'm going to put in 4 millimeters for that. Go ahead and click Finish. As soon as I do that, you can see our preview area has come to life. So there's a cross-sectional view of the hole. If I had performed a counterbore or a countersink, you'd see that up here as well. So this is just a nice confirmation to make sure that we have these parameters filled out. Once we're done, we can click Finish. That looks good. And there's our drilling operation. Why don't we preview this? I'm going to right-hand mouse click, and let's bring our solid model back. That looks good. So we'll right-hand mouse click, and let's select Preview and take a look at this. That looks good. And there's our hole operation. That looks great. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.